The District of Columbia statehood movement is a political movement that advocates making the District of Columbia a U.S. state, and hence the first and only city-state in the Union, to provide the taxpayers of the District of Columbia with voting representation in the Congress and full control over local affairs. The District of Columbia is currently a federal district under the direct jurisdiction of the United States Congress. It is unique from all other jurisdictions in that it contains only one city, the capital city of Washington. For most of the modern statehood movement, the new state's name would have been New Columbia. Although the Washington, D.C. Admission Act of 2020 refers to the proposed state as the State of Washington. Douglas Commonwealth. Statehood for the district may be achieved by an act of Congress, under the power granted to Congress by the United States Constitution to admit new states to the Union. If the District of Columbia were to become a state, based on 2018 figures, it would rank 49th by population and 11,000 times more dense than Alaska. In the late 18th century, a number of individuals believed that Congress needed control over the national capital. This belief resulted in the creation of a national capital, separate from any state, by the Constitution's District Clause. The District Clause in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the United States Constitution states, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever, over such district as may, by cession of particular states, and the acceptance of Congress, become the seat of the government of the United States. In support of the creation of the District of Columbia, Madison wrote in Federalist 43 that the residents of the new federal district will have had their voice in the election of the government which is to exercise authority over them. Madison did not elaborate as to how this would be, but even with a then unidentified parcel, suggested that the principles of self-government would not be absent in the capital of the republic. Despite Madison's statement, residents of the District of Columbia do not have voting representation in Congress. In 1788, the land on which the district is formed was ceded by Maryland. In 1790, Congress passed the Residence Act placing the district on the Potomac River between the Anacostia and Conegochigwe, with the exact location chosen by President George Washington. His selection was announced on January 24, 1791, and the Residence Act was amended to include land that Virginia had ceded in 1790. That land was returned to Virginia in 1847. The Congress did not officially move to the new federal capital until the first Monday in December 1800. During that time, the district was governed by a combination of a federally appointed board of commissioners, the state legislatures and locally elected governments. Within a year of moving to the district, Congress passed the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1801 and incorporated the new federal district under its sole authority as permitted by the District Clause. Since the District of Columbia was no longer part of any state, the district's residents lost voting representation in Congress and the Electoral College as well as a voice in constitutional amendments and the right to home rule. Facts that did not go without protest. In January 1801, a meeting of district citizens was held which resulted in a statement to Congress commenting that, as a result of the impending Organic Act, we shall be completely disfranchised in respect to the national government, while we retain no security for participating in the formation of even the most minute local regulations by which we are to be affected. We shall be reduced to that deprecated condition of which we pathetically complained in our charges against Great Britain, of being taxed without representation. Talk of suffrage for the District of Columbia began almost immediately, though it mostly focused on a constitutional amendments and retrocession, not statehood. In 1801, Augustus Woodward, writing under the name Epaminondas, wrote a series of newspaper articles in the National Intelligencer proposing a constitutional amendment that would read, "The territory of Columbia shall be entitled to one senator in the Senate of the United States, and to a number of members in the House of Representatives proportionate to its population." Since Then more than 150 constitutional amendments and bills have been introduced to provide representation to the District of Columbia, resulting in congressional hearings on more than 20 occasions, with the first of those hearings in 1803. At that time, resolutions were introduced by Congress to retrocede most of District of Columbia to Maryland. Citizens fearful that the seat of government be moved asked that DC be given a territorial government and an amendment to the Constitution for equal rights. But James Holland of North Carolina argued that Cr.